Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will work on the functionality to stop the timer. So we need to store the set interval inside a variable. But before that, let's create a function called stop timer. And in the last video, I have done a spelling mistake. So here it should be start timer. Okay. So let me copy this and here I'll paste it. Okay. Now we will create a function called stop timer. So function stop timer, and here I'll say clear interval. And inside this clear interval, which is a built-in JavaScript method, we need to pass the variable in which our set interval is stored. But we haven't created the variable yet. Okay. So the students who are familiar with JavaScript will say, okay, let's create a variable. Okay. So here, let me create a variable called let interval that is equal to null. Okay. Let's save this. And then here we can say interval that is equal to set interval, and this interval we can pass it inside this clear interval. Okay, let me save this. And the last thing we need to do is we need to bind the function on the button. So here I can say on click equals to stop timer. Okay, let me save this. And now let's check it in the browser. So let me refresh this and let's click on start. So the timer has started, and now if I click on stop, so nothing has happened. Okay, so to explain you, let me console interval. Okay, so here I'll say console dot log interval, and let's copy this, and here also I need to paste console log interval. Okay, let me save this, and now let's inspect this. So if I go inside console, let me refresh it, and now we can just click on the start button. So as you can see, we have this number which interval gives us. And if I click on stop, so as you can notice, we got null. So interval does not exist when we hit stop timer button. Okay, and that's why we are not able to stop the timer. So the first time when React renders the application, it creates this variable. Okay, and when we re-render, it will run this code again and create a new interval which is null. So basically what it means is that when we run the application, interval is created, and then we are going to set interval to set interval. But when we render again, we have interval at null. And React is rendering this app every single time. This countdown comes down 1 second. So every time when this app renders, our interval set back to null. So to fix this, React has a hook called useRef. So here we need to import useRef. So here I can say useRef, and instead of let, we can say const, and here I just say interval ref. Okay, this is my preference. Okay, and here we can say use ref, and inside initially it will be null. And let me cut this both the variables, and let me paste it after all the functions are done. Okay, now let's clear this up. Okay, so our function will be one below each other. Okay, and now here I can say interval ref, and the way that use ref works is we need to store it into current. So dot current. Okay, let's save this. Now let's console log interval ref. So here I can say console dot log interval ref. Okay, and then let's remove this, and here let's copy this interval ref dot current, and we can just pass it here. Okay, so let me just replace this with interval ref dot current. Let's save this. Now as you can see, we have a property called current, and current is where we can store any data that we want to keep between renders. Okay, now let's copy this console log, and I'll paste it here inside set timer. Okay, and let's remove this console log, this is not required. Let's save this. Okay, and let me refresh this page again. So let's refresh it, and now if I hit start, okay, so it gives us a number, and if I click on stop, so it gives us the same number. And as you can see, the timer has also stopped. This is happening because both the numbers are pointing to the same exact interval. Okay, to check more on this, let me refresh it again, and let's go to components, and here as you can see, this ref is null. Okay, and if I click on the start button, so now this ref has been updated with a new interval. So this time React says I'm going to keep this and I'm going to know about the variable every single time our application get re-rendered. So if you want to keep data between renders, always use useref. Okay, so this is very handy. So now we can do one more thing. We can change the title. Okay, so inside stop timer here I can say set title, and that is going to be keep it up. Okay, let me save this, and inside the start timer here I can say set title, and here I will take a backtick key, and here I'll say you are doing great. Okay, let me save this, and now let's refresh this, and let's remove the console log. Okay, so this logs are not required. Let me save this, refresh the page, and now let's click on start. So as you can see, the title has changed, you are doing great, and if I click on stop, it says keep it up. Okay, if I start, you are doing great, and if I click on stop, it says keep it up. Okay, so this is working fine. Now we will work on reset timer. So let's create the function for reset timer. So function reset timer, and inside this function we need the same thing. Okay, clear interval. Let's copy this and paste it here, and then we need to set the title. So set title, that is going to be ready to go for another round. Okay, let's save this, and then I want the timing to be set it to 25 minutes. Okay, so here I'll say set time left, and that is going to be 25 multiplied by 60. Okay, let's save this, and let's copy this function, and we need to bind it with the button here. So on click, that is going to be reset timer. Let me save this. So let's refresh the page, and let's click on start. Okay, if I stop, it will get stop, and if I click on reset, so it says ready to go for another round. Okay, start, reset. Okay, that's great. So now uh let me make this for 3 seconds. Okay, instead of 10 I'll make 3. Save this. So now let's click on the start button. So it started. Once it reached to 0, then we wanted to reset it to 25 minutes again. So for that, here we need to pass the function. So reset timer. Okay, so this is how we can do, and let's refresh this page again, and if I click on start, so now it should be 25. So as you can see, we are getting this 25 minute. Okay, so it is working fine. Okay, we can start, we can stop, we can start again, we can stop. So basically this is working fine. Let me make this 15 again. Okay, this time we will make it 15, and there are a couple of problems in this app. So if I click on start, okay, if I click on start, and if I click on start again, so as you can see, this time it is decrementing by 2. Okay, so this is not good, and still the timer is working. This should not happen. Okay, this is because it has created two intervals, so we need to fix this, right? So inside start time function we will add a condition. So here I will add a condition if interval ref dot current is not equal to. Okay, so if this is not equal to null, then return. Okay, so this line means we already have one interval. So if it has one interval, then just return. Okay, and in stop timer, okay, and here we need to add a condition that if interval dot ref dot current is equal to null, then return. Okay, this time we will say if it is equal to null, then just return. So now let's check this out. So let me refresh this. Okay, and let's click on start, and let's click on start again. So now this time it is not behaving weird, so it is decrementing by only 1 second. So this is what we wanted. Okay, now we can do one more thing. We can hide the button. If I click on start, it should hide the start button, and it should only show stop. Okay, so for that we will create a state here. So let me create a state. So const, and here I'll say is running. Okay, is running and set is running, okay, equals to use state, and initially I'll keep this false. Okay, let me save this. And here down below where we have the buttons, here I will add the condition, and inside the curly braces I'll take is running. Okay, if this is true, okay, then we will show the stop button. Okay, so if is running is true, then we will show the stop button. And here we will add a condition, sorry, here we will add a condition that if not is running, so if this condition is not running, okay, if this is true, then you can show the start button. Okay, let me save this. So now as you can see, we are only getting this start button, and if I click on the start, we are not able to see the stop button. Okay, let me check, let me refresh it. So here the state is false, and if I click on start, okay, still it is false. Okay, so this should not happen. Okay, we need to do one more thing. So basically here inside start timer, here I will say set is running through. Okay, let me save this and let's copy this. And here inside the stop timer, here I'll say false. Okay, and same goes for reset timer. Okay, let me save this. So let's refresh the page and let's try it again. So start. So now as you can see, we are getting the stop button, and if I click on stop, now the button has changed to start. Okay, if I click on start, okay, so this is also one problem. If I click on start, the button is not changing to stop, and we are not able to start the timer. But if I click on reset, it is working fine. So let me refresh it again. So now this is one more problem. If I click on start, this is working fine. If I click on stop, it's working fine. But once again, if I click on start, the timer is not getting started. Okay, so we need to fix this as well. So to fix this, we need to go inside stop timer, and here after the clear interval, I will say interval ref dot current equals to null. Okay, let me save this, and same thing goes for reset. So let me copy this, and here I'll just paste it. Okay, let me save this. So let me refresh the page. So now as you can see, we have this reference null, and if I click on the start, so now we are getting a number on the reference, and if I click on stop, so the reference is null. Before that, what was happening, we were not able to update the reference. Okay, so now the reference is null, and if I click on start again, so it will start again, and this reference is been updated with another number. Okay, if I click on stop, so now it will be null, and if I click on start, it will be updated with a new number. So this is working perfectly fine. And the last thing here, we need to just change this to 25 multiplied by 60. Okay, let's save this, and now our timer is done. Okay, so we have completed this project Pomodoro, and I hope you like this project. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.